we hear the word definition, we can think on a dictionary or encyclopedia that are used to define so many terms. But one of these terms can have a lot of definitions or meanings that are used to describe a different kind of context. So an extended definition is just a small part of a term. But what a definition essay is? It is a type of writing in which the author develops a comprehensive explanation of a specific word. Writing an extended definition essay does not differ too much from writing a definition essay. In both cases, you have to analyze a given term in various contexts and to distinguish between different meanings of it. An extended definition essay allows you to write in a more general way, including opposition to the Monday definitions of the term and casting doubt on them. To write a definition essay, you'll need to define a word that has a complex meaning and is disputable. It means that it could mean different things to different people. There are some elements that you should have in mind when you're writing an extended definition essay. It should tell the readers what term is being defined, present clear and basic information, and uses facts, examples, or anecdotes that readers will understand. And there are some ways to approach your extended definition essay. For example, analysis. Break the subject into parts and define each element individually. Classification. What classes does the issue belong to? Comparison. Unusual things may be determined by showing its likeness to the common or its contrasts from it. Details. What are the characteristics and other distinguished features that describe the idea of the paper? Negation. Explain what it isn't to clear the ground and for what it is. Origin and causes. What is the origin of the theme? What is the background information and what is the story of the idea? Results, effects and uses. Describe the after effect and uses of the subject. To write an extended definition essay, we can mention 3 sections. You can make a short extended definition essay outline that will help you to develop your ideas in a better way, following the usual structure of a paragraph in 3 parts: introduction, the body, and the conclusion. The first one, the introduction part. In the introduction part, you write about the context of the problem. Here you can mention a few definitions and explain which one you prefer and you will use. Second part, the body. In the body part, it should contain 3 paragraphs. Select 3 different definitions and compare them. Give 1 example for each of them. And the third one, conclusion. Now you can restate the thesis and summarize the arguments in its favor. Tell the readers what is a strong point of your essay, what exactly makes it stand out.
Well, the main distinctive characters of the definition essay are: first one, the main write it any other way, from direct description to narrative paragraph. Second one, this type of essay, it is not only personal. You can use example, explanation, or facts. And the last one, you should have the clear idea, have the definition, and the best of all, you can write something about you care. The structure of the definition essay have 3 parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. Introduction. Start with the dictionary definition in question. Second, body. You have mentioned points important with the definition and analyze them. And you can use facts, anecdotes, or example. And last one, conclusion. You can create your own definition and you expose the principal parts of the definition in the essay. You can use this guideline, but don't feel limited by them. How to write an effective definition essay. Exists some way of the definition terms. First one, definition by function. Second, definition by analysis. And the last one, definition by a structure. Remember, the definition essay, it is a writing that explains what the term means, and you can use example, explanation, and facts that reader will understand.
Now, I'm going to tell you some tips that you can use when you write your extended definition essay. First tip. It is good to choose an abstract word that has a complex meaning, because if you choose a word that has a direct meaning, then you are likely to miss on an illustration in your essay. Second tip. Make proper use of the reference or character theoretical understanding assumption in your essay, because this will give you more credibility and sustenance in your writing. Third tip. If there are no direct sources that support your research, it can be through the interview to the public to whom it will be addressed. Fourth tip. Use the correct connector for each statement, giving better sense, sound, and at the same time becoming more striking to the public in the essay. Fifth tip. In this type of essay also help you to focus in a singular area and giving different points of view. That means one word for a specific area and for some others, making critical analysis. Now, I'm going to show you one example of this type of essay following the structure. Introduction. According to the College English Dictionary, the conflict is a state of opposition between ideas, interest, disagreement, or controversy. This term is extensively used in so many disciplines in order to explain a series of related relationships. By this, the term can be confused and misunderstanding. For this reason, it's important to relate it how the concept of conflict has evolved over time, because it has become indispensable to explain both simple and complex phenomena and uses of human life. The body of the essay. In international relations, the conflict has been associated with the difference between political parties, groups, and countries. This point of view has its base in the realist theory, even though in the last few years it has been criticized heavily for not being able to explain certain issues in international relations. For instance, the peaceful end to the Cold War. For this reason, the liberals emerged to limit the conflict. Their main assumption is that war is not inevitable. So, there is much more potential to cooperation if the unequal conditions are reduced. But in the international community, this represents various obstacles. On the other hand, in the literature, the conflict also well understood as the challenge-made character and to solve to achieve their goals. Traditionally, conflict is a major literature element because It involves a struggle between two opposing forces. For example, it is usually a protagonist and an antagonist, but a narrative is not limited to a single conflict, so it involves internal or psychological conflict related with emotional and external conflict related with action. The resolution of the problems creates closure or fulfillment. Psychology, the conflict is currently related with the state of mind. The reduction of one motivating stimulus involves an increase in another, so that a new adjustment is demanded and that cannot be solved together. Therefore, they are perceived differently. For instance, a conflict between two desire gratification, as when a young has to choose between two attractive and practicable careers, may lead to some vacillation but rarely to great disaster. But at the same time, these ones are often unconscious. In conclusion, through time the definition of conflicts has received many conceptions according to the subject in which were applied, such as international relations that focus more countries and war, by using the realism and idealism as leading theories. Also, the psychology that understands the theme a state of mind. And finally, the literature that sees the conflict as a potential element of a story will never mark a closure or ending.